Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, today we're going to pick up a little Mini that I've agreed to buy, and it's cheap. Really cheap. It's a new shape 2014 Mini Cooper petrol, and I've paid just £3,000 for it. Sounds cheap, doesn't it? It's a Cooper, which means it's got that punchy 1.5 litre 3-cylinder engine. It's actually the same engine that you get in a BMW i8. I'm clutching at straws there really, but technically that is true. I'm not the biggest Mini fan, I've said this many times in previous videos. I've had so many issues over the years with the previous generation, it's just scarred me for life. But to be fair, these newer ones, generally speaking, well, I haven't been bitten by one yet. There's time, isn't there? There's always time. You're probably wondering why it's so cheap. Well, it's done 120,000 miles, but when I checked it out using Car Vertical, it's clear on all the other fronts. It's never been involved in any accidents, there's no outstanding finance, it's never been stolen, and it's never had a mileage rollback. So we're all good. By the way, it's really important that you do one of these checks before you hand over any cash for a used car or motorbike. If you'd like to save yourself 10% off each and every check that you do, then don't forget to use my promo code HIGHPEAK. Or alternatively, click the link below in the video description. But as you can see, it shows all the previous MOT history here. There are 2 advisory items on the last MOT for tyres, so I expect it'll want a full set. So far there's nothing else negative to tell you about it, and it's a really thorough check, this Car Vertical check, so it would tell us if there was an issue. It checks hundreds of millions of cars across dozens of countries' databases, all over the place. So had this had a bump in Barcelona or an accident in Alicante, it would tell us, and it hasn't. One thing I do know about this car though, that the Car Vertical check hasn't told us, the seller has, is that it's very dirty. My trader contact told me that it needs a very good clean, but mechanically it's alright. So I thought, it sounds quite interesting, doesn't it? Well, I suppose we're not far away now, so we should go and have a look, shouldn't we? See what £3,000 has bought me. I'll see you there. Well, we're here, and it's very dirty, but then it's difficult this time of year to keep anything clean, isn't it? There's a slight scuff on the offside front bumper, but that looks pretty good, you know, doesn't it? For a new shape Mini, it's like old shape money. It's got black wheels, which I'm not a huge fan of, but kind of works with the rest of the car, doesn't it? I think there could be some profit in this, ladies and gents. We've got a Michelin. We've got 2 Michelins. Could it be that someone's replaced the tyres on this car that were worn out with proper tyres? I've never seen that done before, but you never know. There's a first time for everything. Where's my handbrake? Right, let's go and have a look around it. Okay then. Well, first bit of good news. Church bells are ringing. We've got 2 keys, which is always a good sign. Although one doesn't work. There we go. 1 out of 2 isn't bad. So we've got a Michelin here. That's right on the limit actually. It's from 2018 and it is right on the limit. So that needs a new tyre. It's very dirty this, isn't it? But it is a genuine Cooper. It's got matching plates from the Sitner dealer. It's originally a Welsh car because its first letter is C. It's hard to tell when it's this dirty, but there is definitely a scuff there. A little bit of a scratch and some scuffage. I'm making up words here, aren't I? But that is on its legal limit. You see the little limiter there? It is right on it. So they need to be replaced. That's a pity, isn't it? So it's obvious then when the last MOT advisor advised the 2 offside tyres, they did nothing about it. Is that ice or rust? Oh no, we're safe, that's ice. I thought it was corrosion. Yeah, not bad then, is it? Not bad. We've got another Michelin round here. That's on about 2 mil of tread, so that would definitely be an advise. Possibly, well, very close to a fail. They've all got different standards, haven't they, MOT testers? I took a Lexus to Lexus Stockport the other day for a service, and the car was mint. The tyres were all good and everything. It was a lovely car. Anyway, they advised the rear tyres because they were only on 5 mil of tread. That's how fussy some places can be. Right, on the back here, we've got I can never pronounce this. Frankenstein. Anyway, that's quite meaty, that. It's quite tidy down here, I suppose. single exhaust. The Cooper S has twin. We've got matching plates from Sytner. It's a Welsh car because we've got the letter C there. Girls UK. Right. Let's have a look in the boot then. Well, we're missing the parcel shelf. That should be there, so I'll have to get one from eBay. I mean, it's quite clean. It should clean up with a good old valet. Someone's been sat in the rear seats because the headrests are erect. Or they've had a kiddie seat maybe. There we go. Yeah, not bad then, this really, for 120,000 miles. It's metallic black. Just in a shimmer. I think this should clean up quite nicely. We've got a worn driver's seat bolster there, as you'd expect, because they're quite buckety seats. We've got some suspicious stains there on the seat. So that's going to need to be repaired or replaced. So that's one panel there, two panels. So you're talking probably £120 to sort that out. It's all quite clean in the back. Not much leg room there though, is there? What else can I tell you? Let's have a look under the bonnet then. There we go. That was very stiff then. Don't know whether that's opened or not. No, it hasn't. It's just on one side. I wanted to have a look under there to see if there was any mayonnaise under the oil filler cap. I know the 1.5 can be quite prone to blowing its head gasket. So I'd have liked to have checked. Right, well, the inside's quite nice. It's quite grubby, but it's a good spec. We've got sat nav. It has done 120,000 miles and it's overdue a service by 25,000 miles. This isn't how you look after a car, is it? Okay then. Oh, this isn't a good start, is it? Right then. Well, I can't open the bonnet because the latch is stiff and we've got a flat battery. Lovely. Wanted to give this a run and see what it was like really, and then ideally take it for a wash. Patriotic mats there. There's no service book, but don't despair because I think they're in this menu, aren't they? Like a BMW. It's basically BMW software, isn't it? Capital is that? What a shame. Turns over once, doesn't it? Is there enough power then just to check the service history? I hate that mini bong. It fills me with dread. Home then, how do we get home? Home. Menu, check tyre pressures, okay. Not the most intuitive system this, is it? Menu, come on. I think this could be because we've got a dicky battery. Don't you just love cars? There's a little bit of life in this, but just not enough to fire it up. Yeah. What little bit I had in the battery, I'm now just wasting onto. And we're back. This should do the trick. Very difficult doing this one-handed. Should get a camera mount for my head, shouldn't I, like that train spotting guy, Francois. It's going to be more luck than anything else, this. There we go. We need an earth then, don't we? Where can I attach this? I'll do, will it? No spark there, was there? There's There's no spark. Why is there no spark? See if this starts then, shall we? There we go. Right. Now we're cooking. What lights have we got on? I'm expecting a plethora of lights now because we've had a flat battery. Get this heating on. Check tyre pressure. Fuel reserve. What else? Is that it? Now I was, before I had to disappear for my booster pack, looking for the service history. Vehicle information, I imagine. Service requirements, service history. Now we're talking, right. Doesn't have an awful lot, does it? 2017, 2018, 2019. All done by the same Mini dealer, and that's their code. So that's fine. So it was last done at 60, and it's done 120. But when I started it, it said it was 25,000 miles overdue. So I think that it's been done, and people, whoever serviced it, don't know how to access this. That's what I would like to believe. Unless, of course, a wad of paperwork comes from the main dealer. It's happened before. Locking wheel nut. Right, where's my window switches? That's all fine. Mirrors work. Mirror signal manoeuvre. Right then. Leave this ticking over for a second. Then I think what we'll do next is take it for a quick drive, see how it drives, and then drop it in the car wash. I want to see what this bodywork's like under all this filth. It's difficult to tell when it looks like this. Give me 2 minutes then, let's just get some charge in this battery. Okay then, well, we're in the Mini. Ah, it's weird, isn't it? Had a big red circle here that's changing colour. I thought it was red, indicating a fault. Well, it's quite a good spec. We've got a multifunction steering wheel, which is wrapped in leather, cruise control and speed limiter, sat nav and all this sort of stuff, which all works. Clutch feels alright actually. So we're into at least 3 tyres, but I don't like odd tyres, so probably 4 tyres, a fresh service. I think if it's this far overdue, 25,000 miles, then I'll give it a full engine service. And a clean MOT, because the MOT runs out next month. Can you believe it's 2024 next month? Hey, this engine pulls really well, you know. A 1.5 turbo. You've got to be in the right mood to drive a Mini. Occasionally I enjoy it. Sometimes though, most of the time, I just think they're too stiff and uncomfortable. But they do grip the road really well. They're very precise, almost handles like it's on rails. We've got quite a strong gearbox. That used to be a weak point on the old Minis, well, the old new Minis. What's quite impressive as well, I did a video with this generation Cooper SD Auto that I was quite impressed with. And what's quite impressive is the amount of interior space. For what's quite a small car, it doesn't feel like you're in a tiny car when you're driving it. It feels very tight and very solid. It doesn't feel like it's a neglected 120,000 mile car. So I suspect there's more service history. It's a 6-speed as well. You know what, this drives particularly well. What could this be worth? It could be worth 5.5, 6 grand, so I think it's well worth rescuing. Even if I did end up massively overspending and I spent £1,000 on it, there's still a decent profit margin. So I think that's what I shall do. Well, I don't know if you picked this up on camera, but I was quite negged out about this. When I got to it and saw that it was dirty and filthy with bald tyres and a flat battery, I just thought, when I've actually got it running and driven it, it's all right, really. It's all right. Right then, let's go and get this washed off, and then I shall run it to my mechanics and see how bad it is. I'll catch up with you in, give me a week. A week should be long enough, shouldn't it? I've just seen somebody driving an MX-5 there with the roof down. Are you mental? And we're back in the cheap Mini Cooper. And guess what? I have not massively overspent. What are the chances? Well, at least I think I haven't. I haven't actually worked it out, which I'll do that later on, but I don't think I have. So far, the preparation on this car has all gone according to plan, really. After we last spoke, I took this down to my mechanics, expecting it to need a good number of things doing, and it didn't really. I was quite surprised. It passed its MOT without needing an awful lot. I did have to put a brand new battery on it, because the battery was, well, it'd seen better days. Because it was overdue a service, I gave it a full service, including spark plugs. So spark plugs, oil filter, all the rest of the filters. So that was done. And you know what, it drives really well. While it was still down at my mechanics, I called Phil, the upholstery guy, and asked him to come and have a look at the driver's seat. If you remember, because they hug you quite well, Mini seats, it was all worn on the driver's seat edge, on the bolster. So I got him to take that out, take it back to his workshop and repair it for me. And I think it needed 2 or 3 new panels. So he stitched that all in, and now it all looks pretty good. I always try and do things like that, because I think when you're trying to sell something, the first thing you see when you open the door is the driver's seat and the steering wheel. And if they look scruffy and worn, straight away, the customer's thinking, this is a bit too far gone, a bit too old and tatty. That and mats. Always try and put a fresh set of mats in as well. I think that has the same impression. The bill at my mechanics wasn't that bad, and the bill from Phil wasn't bad either. From there, I took it over to the lads at Tameside Valeting for a full detailed clean. If you remember, the seats were quite, well, the centre part, the cloth part, they were quite grubby and dirty. And they've cleaned up nicely. They've done a good job. That was another £70. Then I got it back to work, took some photographs of it and got it advertised. I've currently got this on the market for £5,795. Now bear in mind, I paid £3,000 for it. I think I've probably spent around £1,000 on it. I haven't worked it out to the penny yet. You can join me on that little adventure. So if I'm right in thinking that I've spent £1,000 on this, then it owes me 4. So if I can get 5.5, 5.7 for it, it's a decent profit margin really, which you need every now and then. There's no business there if I keep breaking even or taking losses. When I got it back to work, I touched in the marks and the wheels. Now that's the only good thing about having black wheels. You can take some black touch-up paint, in this case I think it was Mercedes Obsidian Black, and you can just kind of carefully, or not carefully, daub in the scratches on the wheels. It just takes your eye off it. So that has saved me £180. I was originally planning to get them refurbished, but with a little bit of touch-up paint, I think it looks alright. And I've got to remember, it's a 120,000 mile car, which will be 10 years old next week. Time flies, doesn't it? In my mind, a 10-year-old car is an X-Reg or a Y-Reg or something like that. I've ordered a replacement parcel shelf for it because the old one never materialised. Sometimes the previous owner can get in touch and say, oh, I meant to drop that off to you, but not on this occasion. So I ordered one off eBay for £95. In fact, on that subject, listen to this and tell me whether you think this is fair or not. I might have mentioned this. I do rabbit on sometimes. I took in part exchange, I think it was last year, a Golf E, whatever they're called, the EV Golf. And it came in part exchange against something that was more expensive, I can't remember. And I think I gave something like £10,000 for this Golf in swap, so it wasn't a cheap car. When I got it, I was away on holiday. So ultimately this is the fault of my, sales team or whatever, but I'm not blaming anyone particularly, apart from the seller. When I got back off my holiday to have a look at this Golf, it wasn't very nice. The parcel shelf was missing, there were no charging leads for it, which with an EV is, very important. And what else was missing? That might have been it. Maybe a book pack or something as well. There was just nothing with it. So I went onto eBay, bought a parcel shelf for it, bought a new charging lead for it, and book pack or whatever else it needed. Then as I was proceeding to checkout on eBay, I noticed the username, and I thought, I know that name. So I went back into my folder with all the logbooks in it. Sure enough, it was the same guy that traded it in. So I sent him a message saying, that's quite a dirty trick really. You should have traded in your car complete with parcel shelf and charging lead. Anyway, I got a bit of a stroppy arsey message back. But that, ladies and gents, is what some members of the general public are like. Right, onto my spend then. So, the bill at my mechanics was, right, a start-stop battery, they're more expensive, that was £140. MOT test fee, that was £40. Oil, £28. Oil filter, £12.42. Air filter, £14.47. Pollen filter, £13.12. Spark plugs, £30.78. Labour, £90 plus the VAT, My total is, or was, £566.56. Let's add this up. 566, 56. Add that to the £3,000. The bill at the valeters was £70. The seat repair cost me £160. The parcel shelf cost me £95. I didn't replace the plates because they were original Williams plates and they look all right. I think finally, after 10 years of doing this job, I'm trying to be a bit more careful with money. Who'd have thought it? I think that's it. So, I have massively underspent. My grand total is £3,891.56. I thought in my mind I'd spent £1,000 on this car, but in reality, I spent just shy of 900. Result. That means then, there is a little bit of margin there. Very good. Right, well on that note, thank you once again for watching. Make sure you give the video This needed tyres, didn't it? I'm sure 2 or 3 of the tyres were low. Why have I not been charged for tyres? Hang on a second. They're definitely not on my bill. Have they been replaced? Let me just check this out. Excuse the wind, it's quite windy up here today. These are the original tyres. But there's loads of tread on that one. Have they been replaced and I've not been charged? That's quite low, that one's replacing. That's okay. I don't know what's gone on here. I'm gonna have to go and have a word with my mechanic and see exactly what's happened. Right, my low spend there might not actually be as low as I thought. I wonder how that's been overlooked. Right, leave this one with me. Anyway, that's more or less my spend. I might have to put a couple of tyres on it. Not very happy about that. Right, anyway then, thank you once again for watching. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done already. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. I'll leave the link below. And yeah, cheers guys. See you next time.